Toyota All-Star Showdown was the biggest short track race going for about 7 or 8 years there. It was covered on the Speed Channel live in January. Every racer in the country was sitting home. All they could do is watch the Speed Channel and the Toyota All-Star Showdown. They took the top 10 cars from the West Coast and the top 10 cars from the East Coast and invited them. And then they had some invitational guys and it filled up a 40-car field. So you had guys from the East and West come together in January, racing on national TV, live TV. We had run very well that year in the East Series. I had been out there the year before, and I was driving for another team. We qualified like 7th or 8th, coming to the white flag. I had Joey Logano picked up, going to the white. I let him back down, didn't wreck him. He wins the race. I finished second. Everything, that's how you race people. I wasn't good enough to beat him. I was good enough to get to him and kind of pick his tires off the ground and make his life a little hard, but I wasn't going to crash him or do anything like that. So, he gets out, he wins, I get out and I'm second. I'm still happy. 1 year later, we had beat and bang. It was one of the most physical races that we had ever had in that Toyota All-Star Showdown. I mean, if you go back and if you go to YouTube it, we were 3 wide, we were beating each other, we were sideways, and it had been like that the entire race. It was a dogfight. Well, I'd gotten out ahead with about 5 or 6 to go and had put 3 or 4 car lengths on Logano. He got clear of Matt Kovaluk and caught me. Like I said, we were all used up. I got the white flag, went into 1 and 2, kept a nice line, got a good momentum off of 2. Spotter says, clear by 2, run it hard, he's going to make a dive on you. Well, I go into 3. The top line is the preferred line at Irwindale, and the guys can't keep any grip on the bottom. So the next thing I see is the 18 car coming across my hood, plowing through me like a video game, putting us into the wall. Steering goes out on my car. I spin out. I get hit 2 or 3 more times. Race is over. I'm sitting there in a smoking heap, on fire. Joey Logano wins the race. And NASCAR ends up penalizing him. They DQ him for aggressive driving. They, my car's done total. That race paid $40,000 plus they give you a Toyota Tundra pickup. So
that's like a $40,000 pickup truck too. Yeah.
Exactly. So instead of that, that was an $80,000 win purse, and then I tore up about an $80,000 car. So it's a $160,000 turnaround right there. And Joe Logano gets out after the race and says, "Just had to do what I had to do to win a race," and don't know why NASCAR DQ'd me. And you got to remember, Joe Logano at this time, 17 years old. He's got a Cup car. Like he's in the Home Depot Cup car for Joe Gibbs, and the path has been complete. He's there. Well, here I am dragging stuff back home. I have a few Xfinity races lined up for that year, but nothing funded like it needs to be. And that was a make or break night for me. That could have been what got me over the hump and got me a look from a team that we needed to be out there in front. Well, and I think it did as much for me because it tested me. I didn't get out, and I did go out and I had a little conversation with him. Never got vulgar with him. Told him exactly how I felt. I said, "Joey, a year ago, I picked you up coming to the checkered flag, didn't wreck you. All I wanted was the same respect this year, and I didn't get it." I said, "That's not how you're supposed to race." Well, I think if it had been a year earlier and it would have been on the other foot, I don't think I would have wrecked him, knowing what was happening the following year. And also feel like my temper would have struck and I would have probably tried to jerk him out of the car and beat him like a drum. But, God has a way to work in all of us and teach us things and show us ways to control our tempers. And he was definitely working on me that night because I don't know if you guys watched it, but my interview, I was pretty calm and collected. And, I kind of took the high road on it. And as easy as it would have been to just bash him, because everybody else was bashing him, you know what I mean? I didn't have to. They were already doing it. So,
Mm-hmm.
Cool head, and I think looking back on that night, there was a ease or a sense of calmness over me that night that allowed me to be able to deal with that. That probably a little bit younger in my career that I wouldn't have been able to do that. So everything happens for a reason. I had an opportunity to race a lot more after that. He's obviously went on to be a champion and done very well, but you know, and he still will have a move like that every now and then, to where it's a pretty bold move, as we've seen with Matt Kenseth a couple years ago. And you know, part of that's from never having to be able to work on his car, and he kind of had a path laid out for him. And don't get me wrong, we'd all like to have that same path, but he's an incredibly talented driver and does an excellent job. But that's the kind of thing that you can't have happen week in and week out. You've got to mature as a driver and not just crash cars and crash people. And you know, that All-Star Showdown was an excellent event. I hate to see it go away. Irwindale is an excellent track. It breeds great racing, and I hope they can get some momentum back. They should take the Cup guys there. I promise you it would be a heck of a race with the Cup guys there.